Emotion, a rare and powerful ability, a gift not everyone is bestowed with, but once you realize it, you will understand that it is the key that leads to the secret doors of the universe. Those who possess this ability will not be blinded by worldly matters. Instead, they will see the truth that not everyone can perceive. This is an invisible awareness, the ability to distinguish between the light of God and the darkness of evil. There is something few understand, and that is that this wisdom is not merely a judgment or understanding. It is a subtle instinct, a deep connection to the eternal source. This wisdom does not come from the mind, but from the heart, where God has placed a source of immeasurable strength. You may sense the signs of choice, the small signs that not everyone notices. They may be a fleeting word, an accidental glance, or a strange stillness in your mind. These signs are not random. They are a calling from God, an invitation for you to embark on a journey of discovery, to realize that within you lies a part of Him. But to recognize it, you must have the ability to discern, to distinguish between the illusions of the world and the truths that can only be felt with the heart. This is not a simple choice, but a long path, full of challenges and temptations. With every step you take on this path, you will realize that there are things that cannot be seen with the eyes, but they are present in every thought, every action, every decision you make. When you begin to notice those small, seemingly insignificant signs, you will realize that every step along this path is not just an intellectual journey, but also a journey of the soul's renewal. The twists and turns of this path are not always easy, and at times you will feel confused, as though you are wandering through a maze with no way out. But it is in these moments that the wisdom of the heart will speak, like a small light shining in the darkness. Remember, this path is not only for those who can see the truth in the light. It is also for those who have patience, for those who know how to persevere and never give up, even when facing the most difficult challenges. As you walk, you will realize that the world around you is not just what your eyes see, but also what your heart feels. The small movements in the air, the unexpected signs you might miss if you're not truly paying attention. This world is full of illusions. You will see lies, inflated words, and scenes that deceive the eye. But in every action, every decision, you will learn how to distinguish between these illusions and the invisible truth that can only be felt through the heart. Those who possess the ability to discern will never be swept along by the currents of the world. They will not let the clamor and the temptations of vanity take away their essence. Instead, they will find peace in their soul and strength in the decisions they make. They will know that this very choice, this path they walk, is what God has chosen for them from the beginning. So the second question you must face is, are you ready to accept the truth, even though it may not be easy? This touches the essence of wisdom. Not every truth is beautiful, and not everything you recognize will bring immediate peace. But it is precisely in these difficulties that you will find the strength to rise up, to face every challenge. When you begin to understand and accept this truth, you will see that you are no longer someone seeking from the outside. You have become the truth itself. You are no longer just a pilgrim on this path. You have become a part of it, a part of what will lead you to eternal light. And it is in these moments that you will feel that wisdom is not just an abstract concept, but a living, dynamic presence within you. You will realize that nothing in this life is random. Every person, every event, every challenge has a purpose, a deeper meaning that you can only perceive when you open your heart and let the truth shine into your life. God has placed a part of Himself in you, a piece of eternal wisdom, so that you may perceive the truth, so that you may distinguish what is good and what is wrong. And when you truly understand this, you will no longer be just someone seeking the truth. You have become the truth itself, spreading light and peace wherever you go. Welcome, you special souls, the ones chosen by God. It's not by chance that you're here at this very moment. It's no coincidence that you're hearing these words. If you're watching this video, believe that the universe has a special message for you. Today, you are standing on the threshold of a great change, a powerful transformation that you will never forget. Everything you've been through, all the struggles, pain, and failures, none of it was in vain. Every drop of sweat, every step, every challenge you faced is part of the magnificent journey you're about to embark on. Have you ever felt that something miraculous is waiting for you ahead? A wealth, a success, a profound change that will not only transform your life, but also change the future of those around you. Don't worry, because you are not alone on this journey. You were destined for this even before you realized it. And now, it's time to open your heart and embrace all the blessings the universe has prepared for you. Get ready, because the greatest things in your life are right before your eyes. Don't miss it. Let your soul listen, and join me as we step into the journey of transformation. Open the door to abundance, not just in material wealth, but also in spirit, in relationships, in prosperity with every step you take. Because right now, you are ready to receive everything you truly deserve. You are chosen by God, special souls, the ones who are not here by chance at this moment. It is no coincidence that you are hearing these words. Today, the universe has brought you to an important turning point, a place where your life will never be the same again. Let your soul listen, for you will realize something that you have not yet fully understood. Your life, though full of challenges, may not have been a smooth path like others, but it is precisely this difficulty that serves as stepping stones, necessary trials to forge you. The pain, the sweat you've shed, the failures that seemed impossible to overcome, all of it is just a test from the universe, helping you become stronger, more mature, and ultimately preparing you for the most wonderful things you've never dared to dream of. Think back, every moment you live on this earth, haven't you felt something profound in your heart? A feeling that you are not just a passerby, a sense that you were born to do something greater. You may not be able to explain it exactly, but deep within your heart, you've always known that you have a higher purpose, a mission that only you can fulfill. And now this is the time. The moment when everything you do, every decision you make, brings you closer to the things you desire. Can you feel this change? It is coming closer, bit by bit. Don't think you're not worthy. Don't think you're not capable. All the challenges ahead are simply lessons, gifts from life, preparing you for the blessings you are about to receive. Remember, the universe does not leave anyone behind. It does not choose randomly. People like you, resilient and strong souls, the ones who have risen after every fall, are the ones who deserve to receive the sacred gift from the universe. And you know, right now you are standing at the threshold of a great change. The wealth you have always dreamed of, not just in material things, but in abundance of spirit, prosperity of the soul, is within your reach. It's not just money, but deep relationships, vibrant health, and prosperity in every step you take. You will see everything you've done, every action you've taken, now has profound meaning. Don't just look at what you have now, but look at what is coming. The door to success is opening right in front of you, and with just one more step, you will walk through it. This is the eternal success you deserve, the greatest wealth that you can't yet imagine. Open your heart and embrace it, for you are ready. And right now, as you are mentally prepared, having overcome challenges, and ready for a great transformation, I want to share with you a wonderful secret. This secret will lead you to the wealth you have always dreamed of, not just material wealth, but also an immeasurable prosperity in every area of your life. This is the moment when you will clearly see that all the sacrifices and efforts you've made in the past were never in vain. To achieve the wealth that the universe has set aside for you, there is one very important thing you need to do. This is not about seeking money or riches in life, but about changing the way you think, act, and perceive the world around you. Change your mindset and open your heart to embrace every opportunity that God has prepared for you. Remember, wealth doesn't just come from hard work. It comes from creating real value in the lives of others. If you want prosperity, start by sharing your love, kindness, and gratitude. Every kind act, every sincere word of encouragement, every action to help others is a seed planted in the garden of your blessings. And the miracle is, the universe will return it to you, not just once, but countless times in ways you can't even imagine. If you want to be wealthy, never stop learning and growing. Expand your knowledge, explore the potential within yourself. Every step forward in your learning and self-improvement process brings you closer to opportunities for prosperity. You cannot dream of wealth if you don't work to develop yourself, seize opportunities, and leverage the talents God has given you. And if you truly want to rise up and achieve financial freedom, dare to think differently. Never be afraid to experiment, never fear failure. It is these failures that offer valuable lessons, the stepping stones that help you move forward. You've lived through enough challenges to know that nothing can stop you when you are determined. Be bold in investing in new opportunities, trust in your abilities, and above all, never stop seeking creative solutions. And when you look back, you will see that wealth doesn't just come from money, but from the lasting relationships and the value you create for the community around you. Live for others, and you will receive infinite blessings in return. Give, and you will receive twice as much. It is your kindness, dedication, and integrity that will be the key to unlocking the door to lasting prosperity. So right now, look within yourself and ask, are you ready to receive the wealth that the universe has prepared for you? Are you willing to change the way you think, the way you act, to embrace the blessings waiting for you ahead? Wealth is not something far away, but a natural result of right actions and a positive attitude in your life. Therefore, let yourself open up and receive. Live with unwavering faith and act from a heart full of gratitude. When you live with sincerity, dedication, and belief in yourself, you will not only attract material wealth, but also receive abundance in spirit, in relationships, and in peace of mind. Step into this world without fear, without hesitation. Dare to dream big and take the steps to turn those dreams into reality. Because do you know what? The wealth you are seeking has always been there, waiting for you to open the door and receive it. Every day, the universe sends you wonderful opportunities. You just need the courage to recognize and act on them. Wealth is not the destination, but a journey, and you are ready for that journey. So start now and embrace all that the universe has prepared for you. Right now, as you have listened to these words, as you have felt the change within yourself, I want you to remember one important thing. The wealth you have always dreamed of is not something distant. It is the natural result of the actions, thoughts, and decisions you have made and continue to make every day. Every challenge, every pain, every failure is not random. They are essential lessons to refine you, to make you stronger, more resilient. And now, as you stand firm, as you have overcome it all, the universe will grant you priceless gifts. Wealth is not just money or material possessions, but prosperity in every area of your life, from relationships, health, to inner peace. Remember, this change is your choice. You are the one who decides whether to step through this door or not. And when you open the door, embracing the blessings from the universe, you will see that everything you've done, everything you've sacrificed, was worth it. Because not only will you receive material wealth, but you will also receive abundance in spirit, in relationships, and in your own strength. So stand firm, be confident in yourself, and never stop trusting your journey. Open your heart, embrace new opportunities, and always live with gratitude. Wealth is right before your eyes, and you deserve to receive it all. Act now, for the future you dream of is waiting for you ahead. Open your heart and embrace everything the universe has arranged for you. because you are the one who truly deserves these wonderful things. And finally, remember, you are ready to step into a prosperous life where wealth, success, and peace overflow. Believe in yourself, for the best is yet to come, and you hold the key to unlocking that door. Wishing you a wonderful journey, and don't forget, wealth is waiting for you. In the midst of the noisy and hurried life, have you ever wondered, is there something greater waiting for me behind the silence? It's a question that's not easy to answer, but it could change everything if you know how to seek it. There are times when you feel like you're racing against time, like a rudderless boat being swept away in the stormy waves of life. You search for peace, but you never find enough stillness to discover it. And then, in those rushed moments, you wonder, is there a power waiting for me in the silence? A wordless whisper from God? This story is not about dazzling miracles or great feats. It is a story about quiet moments where, in those moments, you can hear God's call, a call that few recognize. And when you don't hear it, you lose a part of an invisible strength, known only to a few. So if you can't find the time to sit down, meditate, and connect with God, are you losing something more important than everything you're chasing? Listen carefully, for this story will lead you into a silent world, where all you need is a moment of stillness to meet yourself and God. Are you ready to step into it? Leave a comment with 777 below the video. When you take time each day to meditate, you're not just pausing to relax. You're creating a sacred space where you can connect directly with God. It is in that silence that God is not only the one listening to you, but also sends you invisible strength, peace, and guidance that can only be recognized in the stillness. Every morning, as the first rays of dawn break through, you choose a small, quiet corner for yourself. In this noisy and chaotic world, you close your eyes and listen to the whispers of your own soul. This is not merely meditation. It is an act of faith, an act of devotion to God, a silent whisper sent to Him. Do you know, in that stillness, God is speaking to you. He doesn't speak through sound, but through the peace that permeates your being, through the sudden surge of faith that blooms in your heart, and through a profound understanding that words cannot express. When you are still, God is at work. Now imagine a day without that stillness. You wake up in a rush, plunging into life like a warrior without armor, leaving your heart empty, devoid of faith and strength. Your worries, like relentless waves, crash against your mind, pulling you farther away from yourself. God is still there, but you cannot hear Him. You lose your connection to the true source of strength, and all your efforts seem to drain you even more. But if you choose to sit quietly each day, you don't just communicate with God. You draw strength from Him. Faith is like a candle in a dark room. If you don't take time to light it, the room will remain in darkness. Yet, when you meditate in that sacred stillness, God touches you as if saying, "I am here. Do not be afraid." Imagine this. Someone who meditates regularly is like a warrior adorned with the radiant armor of faith. They step into the world with confidence, unafraid, knowing that God is walking alongside them. Conversely, someone who neglects this quiet time is like a rudderless boat adrift on the ocean, tossed about by the waves of life. You might think, "I don't have time." But in reality, it only takes 10 minutes a day to close your eyes, breathe, and think of God. It's not just stillness. It's the moment you build a spiritual bridge to connect with an infinite source of strength. And you'll see, from those small moments, your entire day transforms. You'll feel stronger, more at peace, and more aware of God's presence than ever before. When looking at the figures who have changed the world, have you ever wondered what helped them overcome unimaginable challenges and achieve extraordinary success? There's a common thread that few recognize. They understood the power of stillness and the connection to a force greater than themselves. Take Mahatma Gandhi, for example, who led an entire nation to freedom without resorting to violence. Gandhi once said, "In the midst of the greatest crises, I have always sought silence, for it is in silence that I hear the voice of God." Despite his demanding schedule, Gandhi set aside time every day to pray and meditate. This connection provided him with the inner strength to lead a nonviolent resistance movement without being consumed by anger or crushed by pressure. Albert Einstein, the brilliant scientist, is another inspiring example. He once remarked, "I want to know God's thoughts. The rest are mere details." Einstein would regularly withdraw from the world, sitting in stillness to reflect. He described this practice as a way for his mind and soul to align, allowing him to discover his greatest ideas. Without those moments of silence, the theory of relativity, one of humanity's most groundbreaking discoveries, might never have emerged. Even in the modern world, Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, was a devoted practitioner of meditation. Jobs said, "If you just sit and observe, you will see your mind become quieter and everything will become clearer. It's in that stillness that you see the truth." He used meditation as a tool to cultivate creativity and make strategic decisions that revolutionized the tech industry. Now imagine their lives without stillness or a spiritual connection. Gandhi might have been swept away by fear and anger. Einstein might have lost himself in the mundane details of life, and Jobs might never have developed his groundbreaking creativity. It was their daily practice of meditation and stillness that allowed them to hear what the noisy world could not reveal. The amazing thing is, you can do this too. You don't need to be a leader, a scientist, or a famous entrepreneur. All it takes is 10 to 15 minutes a day to sit down, close your eyes, and connect with your spirituality, and you'll begin to see your life transform. As you meditate, think about God. Imagine that in the stillness, He is whispering to your mind, "You can do this. I am always here guiding you." You will feel peace seeping into your thoughts and actions. You will step into the world with the confidence of someone who knows they are never alone. Imagine a day when you're so busy that your mind never stops racing. You throw yourself into work, relationships, and responsibilities, yet everything seems to grow increasingly challenging and exhausting. This doesn't happen because God has distanced Himself from you, but because you've stopped taking the time to listen to Him. Without meditation, you gradually lose something vital, the sacred connection with God. Think about a smartphone. If you use it all day without ever charging it, what will happen? Eventually, it will shut down, unable to function. Humans are no different. When you don't take time to meditate, you're essentially neglecting to recharge your spiritual battery. The busyness and pressures of life will overwhelm your mind, leaving you exhausted and easily lost. Skipping meditation means missing the chance to hear God's voice. You might pray and call out to Him in moments of desperation, but how can you hear His response if your mind is constantly in turmoil? A famous entrepreneur once shared, "I lost everything, my career, my family, and my faith, simply because I didn't take the time to reflect and seek peace from God." He later realized that if he had spent just 15 minutes a day meditating, listening to himself and praying, things might have been different. His failure didn't stem from circumstances, but from forgetting the source of his strength, God. The choice is yours. If you don't meditate, God will still always love you. But you will find yourself like a child standing in the midst of a noisy crowd, calling out to your parents but hearing no response. It's not because God isn't answering, but because you haven't taken the time to listen. Try meditating and feel the difference. Just 10 minutes a day, and you will find your mind lighter, your heart at peace, and a sense that God is always walking with you. Don't let the busyness of life steal this miracle. When life sweeps you away, when you don't take time to pause, you will never hear that call. You can keep running, but you'll only be running aimlessly. You will feel tired, lacking, and sometimes lost, even though everything around you seems to be in place. But don't worry, because you can still change. It just takes a simple decision to give yourself a few minutes of stillness every day, to sit down, breathe, and connect. When you do this, you'll notice a miracle unfolding in your life. The difficulties won't disappear, but you'll find the strength to overcome them. You won't feel lonely anymore because you'll know that God is always there, guiding and protecting you. This is not a story with an ending, but a beginning. A new journey, a path full of peace and strength that you can walk with God. And that journey starts today. So what will you do after hearing this story? It will be a slow step into stillness, to hear the wonderful things God wants to give you. Take time to sit, to meditate, to listen to the call from your heart and from God, and you will see that the whole world will change, starting from within you. Have you ever wondered if all the great inventions and technologies that have changed the world are the result of human intelligence? Or is there really some kind of force guiding them? The great individuals who have made history in the most extraordinary ways. These discoveries are not simply the outcome of hard work. They are miracles, wonders that God has inspired and guided them toward a light that no one ever dared to dream of. When you look at great airplanes, breakthroughs beyond space, the first steps on the moon, do you think these are the steps of mankind, or is there someone watching over them, guiding them beyond their own limits? Bold ideas, miraculous inventions, are they the result of sleepless nights, moments of struggling with challenges, or is there truly an invisible hand that has shown them the way? Imagine that these creators did not work alone. They were guided by an inspiration that goes beyond all theories, beyond the limits of science. These inspirations did not come from books, formulas, or conventional theories. They were profound guidance, magical moments that God sent to them, like a brilliant, dazzling flame, a light they could not explain, yet one that led them to extraordinary results. So do you ever wonder if all these miracles are just coincidences? Or is it God, with His infinite love, who has arranged and guided these people to walk the path of innovation, changing the world? The great mathematicians, physicists, and extraordinary healers who have completely changed the way we understand the universe, humanity, and life, did they rely solely on their intellect and effort to achieve those accomplishments? Or, in their moments of breakthrough, was there some invisible force guiding them along a path no one had dared to tread before? Recall the story of Isaac Newton, the inventor of the law of universal gravitation and the fundamental physical theories we still study today. Newton was not only an intelligent man, but his discovery moments seemed to have a mystical element. Was it merely a coincidence that an apple fell and he suddenly realized the law of gravity? Or was it a guidance from a greater power, a nudge from the Creator, enabling him to recognize something the world had never known? Perhaps throughout his journey of discovery, a divine light illuminated the path he had to walk, helping him touch the mysteries of the universe that human intellect alone could not explain. Then, perhaps you remember Albert Einstein, whose theory of relativity completely changed the way we understand space and time. Certainly, Einstein's intellect was extraordinary, but the discoveries he made were not simply the result of research alone. Listen to Einstein's own words. "When I study science, I always feel that I am just uncovering mysteries that someone has laid out for me." Could it be that, during his research, he received guidance from some divine force, from an invisible inspiration? And let us not forget the doctors, the healers, those who cured diseases that the world had given up on. A prime example is Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine. With his vast knowledge and unique healing methods, he revolutionized the medical world. But did these methods come solely from his creativity? Or was he guided by a divine illumination, an invisible power that enabled him to see things others could not? Look at the legendary healers in history, like the divine practitioners of traditional Chinese medicine, or individuals like Paracelsus who brought new healing methods by combining traditional medicine with his knowledge. In each therapy, each remedy, could there be a miracle hidden behind it? a light that God placed in their minds, allowing them to heal wounds, restore bodies, and bring the sick back to life. These stories are not merely an admiration for the intellect and efforts of these great individuals. They are proof of something deeper, that their steps were not simply human decisions, but guidance from an invisible force. It is God, in His love and providence, who bestowed upon them extraordinary abilities, guiding them to great discoveries, helping them bring change to this world. So have you ever wondered if, in your own life, there are times when you too are being guided, as part of a greater plan that you cannot yet see? Imagine that in every moment of your life, you are standing on the edge of a great discovery. You may not realize it yet, but your steps are not merely random. Every decision, every path you take, could be part of a larger plan that God has already laid out. It is He, with His infinite love and miraculous providence, who has arranged it all, guiding you to breakthroughs you never even dared to dream of. Just like the great mathematicians, those who can see through the invisible structures of the universe, did they rely solely on theory and calculations to achieve their miraculous inventions? Or did God place within their souls a fire, an endless desire to explore the mysteries no one could explain? Think of Pythagoras, who discovered his famous theorem about right-angled triangles. Could it be that, in that moment, when he faced a problem that seemed unsolvable, God illuminated his mind with the light of truth, helping him realize an eternal principle that would lay the foundation for an entire field of mathematics? God did not only inspire people like Newton, Einstein, or Pythagoras. He also arranged for doctors, those on a mission to heal, to help humanity restore health and life. Recall the story of Edward Jenner, who invented the first vaccine against smallpox. In a strange moment, he realized that mild infection could help the body fight off dangerous diseases. Was that deep understanding the result of pure scientific research, or did God open a new vision for him, helping him discover a method that would save millions of lives? And what about the legendary healers throughout history, those who cured diseases that contemporary science could not explain? Take Huangdi, the Yellow Emperor, the founder of traditional Chinese medicine, with his secret remedies that are still widely used after thousands of years. Could it be that during those long nights of tireless research, God sent them miraculous insights, allowing them to heal diseases that seemed incurable? These healing methods were not mere formulas, but contained a profound understanding of the human body, the relationship between humanity and the universe, as if each remedy was a part of nature, a gift from God. So have you ever wondered if, in every dream, in every moment of despair, when you feel that there is no hope left, it is God whispering in your ear? He is guiding you to a new horizon where you can see miracles you never imagined. You are not alone in this journey. An invisible hand is leading you through challenges, through the darkness, so you can reach the light, a light that not everyone has the courage to pursue. God has bestowed upon the great ones abilities that transcend human limits. And perhaps He is preparing a new path for you, a career, a mission that you cannot yet see. But you must trust the signs life sends you. These signs may be small, perhaps unexpected emotions, perhaps coincidences in life, but they are pieces of a grand picture that God is painting for you. But have you ever wondered why God chose these individuals? Why were these great minds, mathematicians, physicists, and healers given extraordinary abilities to change the world? And is it only they who deserve this mission? Or could it be that all of us are chosen, but we just haven't realized it yet? The answer may lie in the depths of their hearts. God didn't choose them just because of their intellect or special talents. He didn't choose them because of their wealth or power. God chose them because, in each of them, He saw a soul ready to embrace and fulfill a noble mission. God chooses those with deep faith, those with perseverance who never give up, those with a strong desire to seek the truth and bring change to this world. Look at individuals like Albert Einstein. Even though he had extraordinary intellect, It was his faith in the wonder of the universe that helped him discover theories the world had never known. Throughout his life, Einstein said, "Faith in a higher principle is the only inspiration that guides me." Perhaps that is why God chose him, because he was not just searching for numbers or formulas. He was seeking the harmony of the universe, seeking light in the darkness of the unknown. Similarly, Isaac Newton, who might have seen the universe as a perfect machine, where everything was arranged miraculously, Newton was not only concerned with science, but he also sought to explain the universe through mystical and theological perspectives. It was during those long nights of contemplation, when he studied the phenomena of nature, that God revealed the truth to him. Newton once said, "I am only a child playing on the beach, finding a smoother pebble than usual, while the great ocean of truth remains undiscovered." Perhaps it was God who guided him on that path, opening up a new world of natural laws. Even in the history of medicine, healers like Hippocrates or Paracelsus did not only heal with medicine. They saw humans not just as physical bodies, but as beings deeply connected to nature and the universe. Hippocrates, with his principles of medicine, taught, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." This was not just knowledge. It was a profound illumination that the human body and the universe are one, and health comes not just from treating the body, but from harmony with nature. It was God who led them to see holistically that medicine is not just science, but the art of healing in harmony with creation. So God chose these individuals not just because they were talented, but because within them was a fierce desire to discover the truth, to seek perfection, to serve humanity by bringing about great change. But more importantly, they had faith. They believed in an invisible power, in a grand plan that they couldn't fully see, but knew that in every action, in every discovery, they were following a light, a divine inspiration from God. God does not choose perfect people. He chooses those who are humble, those who have faith in Him and in their mission. Because greatness does not come from perfection, but from persistence, passion, and sincerity. He sees in these individuals the ability to change the world, not only with intellect, but also with their hearts. And this is not only for the great ones in history. Each of us, no matter who we are, can receive guidance from God if we are willing to open our hearts and believe in the mission He has reserved for us. You may not realize it yet, but in your life, there may be signs, events that God is using to lead you to a new horizon. If you trust and walk in that light, you will see that, just like those great individuals, you too can change the world in ways you never imagined. Every discovery, every step forward, every breakthrough moment we see in history is not just the result of individual effort, but may also be a sign of a grand plan, an invisible force quietly guiding us. The great individuals, from scientists like Einstein and Newton to the great healers, not only discovered things that humanity had never known, but they were also those who listened, who believed in an invisible light, a source of inspiration coming from a power beyond the limits of humankind. So what about you? Can you feel that force in your life? Could it be that your dreams, your desires, are not just personal wishes, but part of a bigger plan that you cannot yet fully see? Are you ready to listen, to follow the trace of the light that God has set for you? Never forget that every step you take, every challenge you face, could be part of the journey you are being guided on, whether you realize it or not. If you feel that this story is an inspiration for your life, write 777 in the comments to let us know you are ready to walk in that light. Because what you need to change the world is already within you. And as long as you trust, you will see that no limit can stop you. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video if you think it might inspire someone else. Believe that your life can be part of the great story that God has planned. Human nature is truly a complex entity, made up of elements that are not easily changed. It is formed from natural factors and the culture in which we live. However, in the journey of seeking change, one essential thing is the connection with a divine entity. As God has taught, change is not just about adjusting external actions, but about a profound transformation from within the soul. It signifies a struggle within your own heart, and only those who have reached the level of spiritual connection can embrace the entire universe. Perhaps you have experienced a moment in life when you stood at a crossroads, faced with a decision that would bring about a great change, one you could not explain with reason. That was the moment you felt the presence of the Almighty in your life. God is not only the one who gives you this life, but also the one who watches over every step you take, so you come to realize that every action, every thought, holds value not just in this world, but also in eternity. God knows that, no matter how strong we are, we cannot overcome external forces and the limitations of ourselves alone. That is why He has sent teachings and guidance, not only to save us, but to help us realize that everything you do, every effort you make in this life, is not just for the present life, but is also preparation for an eternal one. Surely you have heard stories of people who once went astray, who walked down a dark path, but when they turned to God, they were saved. Their mistakes, no matter how severe, could not prevent them from finding the light. For in the mystery of God, nothing is impossible. Everyone can find liberation from the past, from pain, and walk the path that leads to the absolute truth that only God can provide. In that moment, you will realize that there is no promised land far away, but it is right in your heart, in the choices you make, in the way you perceive the world around you. It is a journey that each of us must go through, a journey of self-discovery and self-liberation. And when you reach the end of the road, you will realize that you are no longer the person you once were, but have become a new person, a person accepted and guided by the divine. The connection between humans and the higher being is not something that comes naturally. It is a long process that requires training and patience. Therefore, every individual must strive relentlessly to find a way to connect with God, for He is not only the source of the universe, but also the light that guides us through difficult moments in life. However, what is important is that this connection does not come merely through prayer, but through your actions and profound changes in your soul. First, you need to learn how to listen. In the modern world, we have many things to pay attention to, many things to focus on, but if you do not stop to listen to the calls from your heart, you will not be able to recognize the guidance of God. Listening is not just silence in the body, but tranquility in the soul, so that you can feel the divine presence and the peace that God brings. Once you learn to listen, you will understand that this connection is not always obvious, but it always exists in the silent moments. Next is perseverance. God will never abandon you, but He will not force you either. You must find the path on your own. This process can be full of challenges and hardships. At times you may feel tired or feel as though you are standing before a foggy path. But it is precisely in these moments, when you do not give up and continue walking in faith, that you are truly honing your ability to connect with God. You will gradually realize that each challenge in life is an opportunity to draw closer to Him, to clarify the things you truly need to learn. Training is not just about patience or listening, but also about the transformation within each person. God does not just want you to pray. He wants you to live by the principles He has taught. Values such as compassion, humility, and love are not just empty words. They are actions you carry out in every day of your life. And when you truly understand that the change within you is a part of the divine connection, you will begin to realize that your actions not only bring benefits to yourself, but also serve as a way to express God's love for this world. Another important thing is forgiveness. Have you ever wondered why in every prayer, God reminds us about forgiveness? Because forgiveness is the key to freeing yourself from past pain and hatred, and to opening your heart to receive the goodness from the higher being. Forgiveness is not about forgetting, but about letting go of the burdens you carry so that your soul can be light and at peace. When you begin to cultivate these things, you will find that the connection between you and God is no longer something vague, but has become a part of your life. Whether you walk in darkness or in light, you will know that He is always by your side, always showing you the right path. It is an unbreakable connection because it is built on the foundation of love, forgiveness, and absolute trust. And as this process of training gradually becomes a habit, you will realize that you are no longer just a simple human being. You have become part of something greater, a part of the grand plan that God has laid out from the beginning. You will no longer live for yourself, but live for the divine values you have connected with, for the good things you can bring to the world. When you truly connect with the higher being, you will realize that the liberation you seek is not an external change, but a profound transformation from within. It is a journey from the deepest layers of your soul, a process where you begin to free yourself from burdens, anxieties, and the constraints of material life. Connecting with God not only brings peace, but is also the key to liberating yourself from the things that have hindered your growth and happiness. Liberation from fear and anxiety. One of the first things that the connection with the higher being brings to you is the ability to free yourself from fear and anxiety. In the modern world, we are often caught up in worries about work, finances, and the future. But when you find your connection with God, you will understand that there are things beyond your control, and you do not need to carry all of them. God will show you how to let go of the things that do not belong to you so you can live in freedom and peace. In fact, when you entrust your worries to Him, you will feel a wonderful sense of liberation, for you no longer have to carry burdens that cannot be sustained forever. Liberation from emotional wounds. Each of us carries emotional wounds from the past memories of broken relationships, failures, and hurts that we cannot easily forget. But when you connect with the higher being, you begin to realize that you are not defined by what has happened to you. God does not see you as a person full of flaws, but He sees you through the light of unconditional love. When you open your heart to receive forgiveness from Him, you will be able to forgive yourself and others. It is this forgiveness that will help you liberate yourself from emotional wounds so that you can continue living freely and strongly. Liberation from self-limiting beliefs. We are often limited by the narrow beliefs we have formed throughout our lives, beliefs about our own abilities, about what we can achieve, and about what we think we deserve. But when you connect with the higher being, you will realize that you are not the limitations you have set for yourself. God not only teaches you how to overcome those limitations, but also shows you that you can reach for greater things, breaking through the walls you have built in your mind. Your connection with Him opens the door to see the limitless potential within yourself. Liberation from loneliness and the lack of love. In a world where people sometimes feel lost, connecting with the higher being gives you a sense of completeness and fulfillment. God is not only the one who gives you love, but He is the source of all love. When you truly understand that you are unconditionally loved by Him, you will no longer feel a lack of love or loneliness. You will know that you always have a divine presence beside you, a love that nothing can replace. This connection helps you overcome feelings of loneliness so that you can love yourself and others more deeply. Liberation from judgment and criticism from others. When you connect with the higher being, you will gradually realize that the judgments and criticisms of others no longer have a major impact on you. You do not have to live to please others, nor do you have to follow the standards set by society. The acceptance of God is all you need. When you understand that you are valuable in His eyes, you will be free to live authentically, without being bound by the expectations of others. This is true liberation when you no longer have to carry the fear of being judged or not being accepted. Liberation from regret and fear of the future. Once you find your connection with the higher being, you will understand that life does not always go according to the plan you have laid out. Instead of living in regret over what has passed or worrying about the future, you will learn to live fully in the present. You will no longer fear what has not yet come, but instead, you will feel peace and trust in the wonderful plan that God has prepared for you. This connection helps you break free from feelings of insecurity, replacing them with strong hope that everything will be all right if you live true to your heart. When you begin to free yourself from these things, you will feel a sense of freedom, lightness, and tranquility in your soul. And that is when you realize that the connection with the higher being not only helps you overcome difficulties in life, but also opens the door to a life of happiness, peace, and fulfillment. This is the liberation you have always sought, and only when you truly connect with God can you understand its profound meaning.